Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a video based off a living situation I underwent a couple years ago. I'm here to speak my truth and explain why this situation has been so unforgettable and has made it hard for me to sleep at night. So yeah, just want to let you know ahead of time, there's a trigger warning. Just trigger warning. There's a lot of like trauma and like words that you probably don't want to like hear, and I'm not promoting violence of any sort. There is violence involved, but I really think you guys should protect yourself if you're not really in the mindset to like hear some traumatizing things. It starts off pretty lukewarm, but it gets really bad. Okay, so I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. Okay, so boom. So it all started when I graduated high school. My parents had set limits for me when it came to my income and outings. So what I mean by that is my parents didn't want me to have a car because they didn't want me to leave the house. I was enrolled in the fall semester of college that was only like 10 minutes, a 10-minute drive away from my house. And my parents recommended online classes because they really didn't want me to leave the house. Like they were like, don't leave the house. Like you should try to like do some other types of colleges if that's not available. And you know, due to me having an awful experience at home, I insisted to do in-person courses. So they finally brought me a car, but would do mile checks. And that's basically when like they count how many miles, like the difference, like from where you drove and how much it'll take to come back. They did all that. So when it came to my parents' limitation, I couldn't really hang out with people. I guess, I don't know. I just felt like my mom really never gave me an opportunity for it. Like anytime I'll ask my mom, like, can I go and do this? She'll be like, no, you don't need to do that. Or there are going to be boys there, like, you know, that type of stuff. Because she really wanted me to be like a pure individual. I got my first job that paid $7.50 per hour. Ask yourself, can you live off of $7.50 an hour? And it was right across from my college. I was making basically nothing, and it was my first job ever. I overall had a C in work ethic, in my opinion, because I didn't do that good. There was a lot of conflict. Honestly, if a job is not a great place, it always falls on a manager. Like not even a supervisor. The supervisors for sure play a part. Expectations of me that they never communicated. Like never did you guys say, you know, like you did say cleaning is a part of the job. I cleaned, but I didn't know I was supposed to clean like deeply twice a day. And it just didn't even sound right because it just felt like a lot of pressure. Like why y'all want me to like do all this cleaning? This is a fast food job because there wasn't a lot of job options. So I was sitting here at this fast food job and I'm like, I think y'all want too much, low key. And I just felt like they did not train me properly. Like literally they trained me within like one day and like they didn't even go over everything. They taught me to like replenish things, like, oh, if you see something run out, you know, restock it. And it's like, okay, well that's obvious, but I didn't know I was supposed to bust out the whole mop and bucket midway through the job, because I was just like, why would I want to make the floor slippery for customers? Like, they ain't like that. So there was already some conflict at that itty bitty ass job. So although I was developing work ethic, I was excelling in college and made vice president's list. Yes. And my GPA was so good. But now I got a teacher over here hating on me. I made a video about it. I'll talk about it, you guys, because these teachers are outrageous, okay? So anyways, it was a breath of fresh air to get away from my parents. Their constant criticism was weighing on me way too much. I had social anxiety due to them isolating me. Therefore, I had no friends and just dealt with my parents for years. So when I was done with high school, I literally did not really keep in touch with a plethora of people. My school was very small. My school was like 200 students. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of options, and it was predominantly Anglo. So there was just not a lot of options. Like, what do you do when a lot of your Anglo friends start saying racist stuff? Don't hang out with them no more? Duh. But what do you do when the majority of the school is like that? Don't hang out with them. And that's literally what I did. Like, I wasn't missing out on nothing. So I wasn't allowed to hang out with people, nor was I allowed to have friends sleep over. I wasn't the type to sneak out because I didn't want my parents to freak out with me. I was like, I don't know what they're gonna do, like, because they've been telling me for years, stay in the house, don't leave the house. Kind of what I had to survive. Like, I really don't think anyone signed up for their parents, you know, the way they operate. So yeah, it was really my mom who was concerned about that, and it was stressing me out because I was like, girl, you already know my life is hard. Like, she became very, very, like, strict. Like, no, I don't want people around you. And she hated, like, the friend that she did know I had. Like, she really did not like my former best friend. Well. Anyway, so note I had an older brother who would come and go whenever he wanted. Like, that boy was just, you know. But I get it at the time. Like, I just made it to 18, so I was like 17, and my brother is like older than me, so he was like already an adult age. But I do remember when he was like a teenager my age, he was like willy-nilly all over the place, you know. He was just outside. I'm like, you doing a whole lot of things in this really small town, you know. He was cutting up. But as soon as a girl wanted to have like a sleepover, oh my God, why do you want to go to people's houses? You know what happened at other people's houses? And it's like, not all the time, girl. Like, I get the protection, but I literally I felt so awkward for so many years. And it's like, I didn't deserve that. I'm giving y'all Southern. So high school to me wasn't enough time for me to develop relationships, since my parents also didn't allow me to go out with them and be in spaces where I could at least have some type of like social development. Like, I literally did not know anybody. Like, people would be like, oh, hey, Dave, do you know so-and-so? And I'm like, no. People would literally tell me that they asked other people about me if they knew me, and people would always say no. I literally was not known. It was great because I really didn't like that state. I wasn't a native of this state. That was not my home state. And that was always like a thing. Like, when people find out that I wasn't like originally from there, they'll be like, so one day during the winter semester, I am notified of an account authentication failure. And no, true, I wasn't really like messing with my account or whatever. I put everything that I knew to my knowledge, period, you know. And then so I tried to correct it, but they sent another email, which was like literally 2 to 3 minutes after me trying to authenticate myself from my phone and stuff. And they sent an email telling me that FAFSA will be refunded like now. Like, literally, they took all the money and they sent it straight back to FAFSA. So I was like, wait, so how am I supposed to get through college? And it was like, well, you just have to pay this balance off. And I'm like, why did this happen in the first place? And it was like, oh, it seems like there was like a slight bit change of information. And I'm like, well, I have everything that I need to confirm my information. And it was like, oh, well, you know, we got kind of scared. So you sent the money back. Imagine sending thousands of dollars back to somebody in a matter of 3 minutes before even trying to understand the situation. And so, you know, I kept trying to fight it. So I would go back and forth, you know, for the whole winter semester and try to figure out, like, if I can talk and communicate with these people. But, you know, eventually, you know, it was coming to an end because winter semester is really short. And just like any college, when they hit that no school time point, everybody gone. So before that, it got to that point, you know, I was over thousands of dollars technically in student debt or whatever, because I didn't loan anything. Because I had like made $7.50 per hour, and I had like a pretty okay, like the car was really not that much. Like, my parents gave me a starter car, But due to like my income amount, I wasn't going to make that amount of money within like the next couple months to like pay over $2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, let's be for real here. After taxes and all that, I'm virtually getting nothing. I was getting like $200 to $300 every couple weeks. That ain't nothing. And I was barely working because I wasn't really allowed to drive like that because I'm a girl, I guess. So I try to talk to them like, this is a identity theft type of situation. I don't understand why you guys don't just, tell fast food that y'all jumped the gun and that all the information has been completely confirmed now. And they were like, oh, we're not going to do that. And I'm like, why not? And they're like, well, we're not really sure. We just know that we're supposed to do this next after something like this happened. I'm like, so y'all didn't come up with no backup plan for when y'all was in the wrong? Y'all just assume y'all always right? I kept trying to fight it though. Like I kept going backwards and forth to the school, seeing any and everybody. Shoot, y'all about to start learning my name for real. Like y'all gonna know me when I walk in type shit. But yeah, I was trying to meet the deadline before they officially closed out because it was like 1 or 2 days before like the semester was done. And like a lot of people, they get busier during that time because people are trying to resolve issues before the spring semester because, spring and fall are like the major semesters. On the way to beat the closing time, I remember there was like this like really like, it was like this steep hill, right? And I'm on the highway. This is a 2-way highway. So there's a left and there's a right, and so I'm going down this way, right? And so you can't really see anything when you're at the top of the hill, but by the time like I was getting down to the hill and I started like hitting my brakes or whatever. I'm thinking to myself, am I tripping or is this car like completely stopped? Like this whole truck and this tractor and like attached to the back of it, is it at a complete stop? It's actually longer because of the tractor. So it wasn't a regular car size. It was like those cars with those little black cast iron looking backings. I don't know, trailers, whatever. But I hit my brakes not working. I'm hitting my brakes, they're not working. I'm holding my brakes, they're not working. I look, because I'm like, why don't I just do a left and then, pass them up? There's a car coming my way. So I'm like, I'm not about to play chicken with somebody's life. Like, that would be so, I don't think I would sleep good at night. So I was like, I'm just keep hoping that this thing stops. And it doesn't. I rammed them or whatever. And literally, I don't know if I want to show the picture, but literally nothing happened to their thing. Like nothing happened. Nothing shipped off or nothing, not paint, no nothing. Like it's good. And I'm like, okay. So they're looking at me all shocked and scared and stuff because they know they're in the wrong. It's like, yeah, why did you guys come to a complete stop? I'm thinking to myself, let me honk the horn and hopefully they got the way. Because it's like, why would you come to a complete stop at the end of a hill? Like, you guys should have seen it because he was right outside his farm. It was like a blueberry farm or whatever. And like, there was like so much like landscape, like in the front of the farm. He could have literally just drove a little bit into his driveway. But I guess they decided to, I don't know, check the mail at the end of a hill. What? Of course I wasn't going to stop in time. I had that much momentum. And so I called my parents and I told them about it. They told me to take pictures and stuff like that. And, when they saw the car, they was disappointed in me. And I felt like my parents were really using that as an excuse to never let me get a car again. Not in the name of them, I guess. I stayed at the house and we pretty much lived remotely, so I couldn't get another job to pay off my balance for school. The college told me that I could no longer attend any college until the balance was paid off. And I'm like, oh, y'all really limiting a girl, okay? Like, y'all really don't want me, okay? They like, and don't come back here. Okay, forget you too then, the fudge. And so I was scared to try a different college because fast food was telling me also that refund did something to my account that I wasn't really allowed to like apply for fast food or something like that because they're notifying fast food that I have a balance. This school is double downing on me and telling fast food that I haven't paid off a balance that they refunded So due to me being at home all the time, every day, avoiding my parents and my siblings because everybody has something to say. And it's really hard being the first oldest daughter because it's a lot of pressure. You try to be like obliging, you know, you try to oblige like all the rules and, you know, the foundation that your parents set, but they always switching it up and, you know, turning it up on you. And it's like, look, I don't have time for this. I'm gonna stay in my room, I'm gonna eat ramen, and I'm gonna watch anime all day. And I'm also gonna learn Japanese. My Japanese is not the best, but like I virtually forgot everything. Like I was working on the katakana, but nati nana. Can I get a like? Due to my car being total and given away, I use the internet a lot more because it's free and available. I was on Twitter one day and got a DM from someone. Around this time, I met two people on Twitter. I want you guys to really note that. I met two people around this time on Twitter. But for now, I'm going to only speak on one. And we're going to call that one person Cameron. Okay, so Cameron DM'd me and was looking for friends, and I replied with low vibration because who are you? Stranger danger. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so I'm not sure why I replied with low vibration, but I don't know, maybe my intuition was telling me like, not this person. So I will refer to Cameron as they. So they hit me up and was persistent on the friendship. At this time, I kind of just turned 19 years old, and Cam was 17, freshly 17. Yeah, because our birthdays are literally 1 month after each other, barely, not even a full month. Our birthday is like almost like a little over 2 weeks away from each other, but it's not even 3 weeks away. Note this, you guys, I met Cameron literally February 22nd of that year. I'm not gonna tell you the year because I'm not trying to literally put out my age like that, y'all. But Cam said that they were cool and mature enough to be my friend. Now, during that time, I feel like Cameron said that because I was very vulgar. So, like, I was saying some outrageous things and some things that I literally did not even know that was going to come out of my mouth. I was like, I said a bad thing. And people really take it heavy sometimes, but some people loved it. They were like, oh my God, you're so edgy. I love it. You just don't care. I was like, yeah, no, I don't. But it was getting problematic because there is a sense of professionalism that I always longed to have. Like I said, like I was new to the work ethic and I just didn't feel like fast food was nowhere near anything that I really want to do in life. Like, girl, I'm looking at the manager and she thinking she the hottest stuff because she's a manager at a fast food place. So congratulations. Now you need to work on, I'm not even here for that. She's not the target. These motherfuckers are. So Cam just was in love with it. They thought it was edgy. So there was like, I guess I felt like Cam wanted to like have that as like their characteristics. But I don't think Cam even knew what came with being vulgar. Like being vulgar is not a real big like game. Like it's not gonna get you, it can get you far, but I feel like what do you want for yourself, you know? And I thought I was just saying like vulgar things because I wasn't outside a lot. So yeah, like I say crazy things because it's like I don't have normal conversation. Like what are you talking about? It's random over here. But obviously Cameron didn't say that like outright, but they proceeded to hit me up frequently. Like Cameron really wanted to be my friend, and I was like, look, I don't need friends right now. I'm trying to figure my life, okay? And so I will tell you guys a few red flags that Cam has given me since, you know, they was hitting me up frequently. And I was replying, you know, but I was for sure prioritizing, like one other person that I met on social media. But, yeah, here's the red flag number 1. So Cameron would send me screenshots of them talking about me with their friends. So I guess Cameron did the internet friend thing. Everybody was on the internet having internet friends, especially on OVO. I forgot how people said it. I don't know. But that stuff was hot back then. Tagged. Girl, I'm glad I got off of that one, because I've met a lot of pedos when I was a kid. I was like, bro, what are you saying to me? I thought I was just having a conversation with a 58-year-old. Like, I thought it was mature. The internet was crazy back then. I don't know why everybody acting like now all of a sudden people are doing crazy things on the internet. No, it's been wild, okay? Like, people been acting up on there. But, yeah, so Cameron was just like gloating about me. They weren't saying anything negative. They were just constantly like gloating about me, like, oh my God, she's so pretty, she's like amazing, so funny, like. And then like they would send it to me and they'll be like, oh my God, like I was talking about you with like my friends and stuff. And I'm like, why do I need to know that? And why are you talking about me with your friends? Like, we just met each other like not even a week ago. like I don't even think it was a 1 week thing before Cameron was like sharing like those screenshots of them like gloating about me. And I just thought it was weird, because it's like, why are you giving obsessed right now? And I don't think, like, I don't know, obsession doesn't really do anything for my ego. Like, I mean, I do want people to be infatuated with me, but I don't want somebody being like, I love this person, they're great, we're gonna be best friends forever, yeah. Like, girl, like, relax, like, calm the fuck down. Like, I don't know, it's just something about someone claiming me and I'm not there. Like, I had to be there too. You know what I'm saying? These people are crazy. But anyways, the second red flag. So, literally Cameron would not talk on FaceTime about themselves. Like, literally anytime. FaceTime was like, for like maybe like 3 months, FaceTime was all about me. It was so annoying. And I mean, like, we would be on FaceTime for hours. And all Cameron is doing is asking me questions. I felt like I was getting interviewed. I mean, that kind of did something for my ego. But it's like, I mean, I love when people listen to me, but I still like to learn about people I'm talking to, you know, because it's just like stranger danger. So Cameron was like not really, they weren't initiating, like, what do you like? What do you do? What are your interests? What are your favorite colors? You know, like, well, where are you? Where are you right now? Like, why is this me? You know, I didn't like it. So 3, Cameron said they lived in a major city with millions of people and they had no friends. And this is their hometown. Your hometown with over millions of people and you have no friends. But I get it. They went to a pre-dom Anglo school, but I don't know, like, me being a person who lived where I used to live, a lot of people used to fantasize about being in the space that Cameron was in. But I get it, like, just because the place is like populated doesn't mean there's a lot of like, you know, good moments and stuff. That doesn't mean like, oh, it's just easy to find a great person. Like, there's a lot of bad people in that million, you know, in those millions. But it's like, I just felt like, I don't know, like, how are you in high school? Like, are you trying? Like, are you trying in high school? Because, you know, but they had a very small amount of African Americans at that school. I think they had less African Americans than we did. And baby, we didn't have like nobody, okay? Most of them kids were related. I was the only one not related to nobody. It was awkward. I was like, no, I ain't your cousin. Now I don't know you. The person would speak on like FaceTime. So Cameron obviously lived with other people, but for some reason, whenever Cameron would have interaction with a certain person, I didn't know who it was, they would mute FaceTime, and I'm like, hello? Are you there? What happened? I'm just on FaceTime. What's going on? I can't hear you. And they're just like having a conversation. I just didn't know it was on mute. And I'm like, oh, I'm embarrassed. Somebody's going to steal that and make a TikTok out of it. You're welcome. Okay, you're lucky I don't do stuff like that. But Cameron actually was like the type of like, Cameron was actually like a little Viner for a while. Yeah, Cameron had some jokes. You know, Cameron wasn't like not funny. They used to make video skits. That was a hint for the people who needed to know. This was Cameron's junior year coming to an end. So I met them in February, and I think their years ended like maybe 1 month before maybe 2. because I think we stopped going to school around like May. Like we stopped at May, but I think they stopped at like March or April. And I was like, what? Like that's early. But yeah, they was coming to an end or whatever. And so during this time, I'm applying for jobs daily, but I wasn't getting any callbacks. I wasn't getting like offers for interviews. I only had one job in my life, and a lot of managers said they're saving their jobs for 15 to 16-year-olds. And so that the younger teenagers can get experience, because jobs was somewhat of a scarcity where I was, and it was unfair. I just thought it was unfair. I didn't know if it was due to me being black, because there was a girl who literally just graduated high school, and I knew she was 18, and she got the job. And the crazy thing is, this girl was an open racist. She was racist. She literally would, you know how white girls, you know how Anglo girls do like Dutch braids and stuff like that? So I guess she considered Dutch braids to be like cornrows, and literally all the like Anglo kids were talking bad about her. There was like, she said that, you shouldn't be doing N-word hair, like you look like an N-word or whatever. She was saying it to a white girl, an Anglo girl who was dating a black guy. And I'm just like, what? Because trust and believe, that little girl was most definitely trying to talk to black guys, but whatever, they gave her the job. It was at Wendy's. Girl, ain't nobody pressed off no Wendy's. I thought it was unfair though, period, because I felt like that was like an excuse, because I believe she was 18 at that time with her big nose ass. I heard she was musty. Woman had a part-time job and was getting dropped off by someone. You know, it was always getting dropped off by a family member. And so we finally got to the point where Cam actually started to speak more. So Cam was no longer being all super camera shy and stuff and talking about some, oh, I don't know what to say, you keep going type stuff. And I'm like, that's what was so annoying. But then they finally started like initiating, like, oh yeah, I was like, you know, I have an opinion, like, oh, I like this, and, you know, this is how I feel. I feel like they were trying to, like, learn through their emotions. And so I started, like, you know, there was, like, a lot of times where I was kind of, like, subtly, like, trying to, like, lean off of Cameron, because I started feeling like it was, like, some codependency type stuff. And so, like I said, I had another friend from Twitter around that time, and so I would talk to them more. Cameron would literally go on to like my profile and would like complain and be like, oh, so you was talking to this person today? Maybe what are you talking about? Like, it was giving jealous, and I was like, you need to calm down, you know. I don't even like believing in jealousy, but it was giving that, like, for sure. And I was like, why are you trying to police my account? And no shoe, Cameron actually got my Twitter account banned, because they reported me literally right after Cameron was like, oh my God, I'm literally about to report you. And they were trying to do it for like a joke. But literally, as soon as I got reported by that person, by Cameron, my whole Twitter account just froze up. And then like I tried to refresh it, and it was like, this account is suspended. Like I couldn't even look at like nothing but like older messages, and I was like, wow, like, and I was just getting momentum. And this is also around the time when I was starting my YouTube channel, because I just wanted to do something else with my life. You know, I didn't want to just sit at home all day. Like, I have a brain, and I want to exude with my brain is constantly spewing in my mind. No, we FaceTime literally every day for hours throughout the day, morning routine, night routine, all of it. Here is the fourth red flag. So Cam would FaceTime me for hours, insisting that I stayed on the phone while they were at lunch, transitioning from their classes, when they were at work for their lunch during that time, the morning and night routine. Like, literally, it started feeling like a responsibility. I felt like I had to stand attention and make sure that Cameron had somebody looking at them and talking to them throughout the day or whatever. And I felt like anytime like Cameron felt like out of the mix, they would like hit me up and stuff, and I was just like, I don't know, it's giving codependency. I kind of don't want you doing this, but at the same time, I do know what it's like to be an introvert. But the fact that Cameron had a student body that was like over 10 times more than what the heck I was dealing with, I just sympathize with them because I'm like, yeah, you know, I would probably be overwhelmed too if I was surrounded by so many people all day. And Cameron wasn't like no bad looking individual. They was well dressed or whatever. They was just, you know, learning how to do their hair. I taught Cameron how to do their hair. And I just felt like it was giving codependent, period. I do discuss my life situation with Cameron. So we do get to the point, like I said, we're a couple months into it. They're about to finish up on their semester. And we're just kind of talking about it. I think this is during the summertime. I think this was their summer break is when we initially, like Cameron, yeah, like we were just talking. It wasn't like I was like, oh, here are all the horrible things I'm going through. It was just like, no, you asked me what you have going on in your life, and I literally have nothing to do at home much. I'm trying to learn Japanese, but I can't concentrate on Japanese because I need money, I need education, and this is just, to me, it's unfair. I couldn't even think clear during that time. And so Cameron, you know, they sympathized with me and stuff like that. Like, oh my gosh, like, you know, that literally sound like you're limited. Like, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I'm like, I appreciate it. It'd be like that sometimes. I'm just trying to figure out, but what are some things that you're going through? And Cameron was like, well, you know, we kind of been living here for a while, and like we're kind of considering moving and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's it. That's all Cameron gave me. And I was like, okay, because I knew they was like in school and they had a job. I knew, like, you know, kind of what they wanted to do with their job, but not really, because Cameron didn't even know what they wanted to do with that job. They were working at like the movie theater, so it was kind of like they weren't considering being a supervisor. So it's kind of like, what you gonna do? You know, what you gonna do? You know, like, what's your ideas? Like, what is the career that you want to have? Cameron decided to offer me a room at their place in the city that they lived in. I was so scared, and I felt like I looked as if I was like begging for something. Like, I felt like oh, like I didn't want you to like offer me things or whatever. Like, I just, you know, wanted to express like my situation. But Cameron was like, no, like, this is like not really your fault. You're going through a lot. And I'm about to enter my senior year. Like, I think it would make sense for me to have a roommate. And I was like, no. So I rejected Cameron's offers. And about a month later, I brought it up. And Cam said they'll have to consult with their family, with their family member. So Cam comes back and said she is okay with it. And she is going to be named Tamar. So Cam said Tamar just has to ask another person. And I'm like, who the other person, right? I was a bit confused because I only heard Tamar in the little baby boy voice doing the FaceTime calls. So I was like, who else is all in there? And I was like, that's what you're doing. You're hiding a person, right? Eventually, they come back and say it's 100% okay for me to move in with them. They just needed to get situated and I could come visit first. Okay. I was excited, but scared. I was making this decision without my parents' knowledge. None of them. Nobody had a clue. Not my siblings, not nothing. I told nobody. Nobody. Because it's my business. Grown women stuff. Get you some, bitch. Cam is a December baby, so we decided to make Cam's birthday week the week of my visit. So this is after Cam has done their semester. Literally already saw Cameron's everyday moves because we would be on FaceTime for hours, okay? And so I thought I had a good clue, an idea of what they kind of had going on. Cam and Tamar, I don't know, had purchased a Spirit airline ticket to fly me out. And Cam said they would love for my hair to be styled a certain way. So when I land, and we take pictures, we have like this certain like aesthetic. We look like friends, we look close, we are collated, right? Cam lived maybe 30 minutes away from the airport. Adamantly, Cam was telling me my hair should look that certain way that they recommended. Like, the style has to be that way so we can like go out and hang out and right? My flight was a few hours, but I get there and see this bitch literally had their hair done. And I'm like, okay, so I went for a more like underdone look, and you literally went for the whole full look when you do this certain hairstyle. And I thought that was kind of suspicious, but I was like, I don't know. So I just thinking to myself, oh, look how fucking stupid I look, y'all. Not very correlated, not very well thought out. You know the rest. Mark comes up and looks kind of disappointed in my appearance, but I didn't want to take things negatively. I had little social skills, so I wasn't sure if I was being anxious or well observant. So I literally was kind of in denial. Tamar's like visual energy was towards me. But, you know, I just thought like to myself, like, dickety darn, you know, like she's being a cunt, you know, but I didn't know. I just thought to myself, I'm not that experienced with people to really know when a bitch is giving me a bad vibe. And yeah, she is a bitch. Like, not sorry about that. So Tamar then leads us to the car because they don't play about parking your car in front of their airport entrance. And as soon as we get in the car, I remember Tamar's like, oh, girl's like so pretty, you're pretty. But to me, I just saw you acting weird, and now you're saying I'm pretty. I was like, she's being fake. Like, maybe, I don't know, because I don't really know her, but it was giving fake. So anyways, she talks about the city as she drives Cam and I, and I was stunned. The energy, architecture, everything were mad different from my culture. Tamar drives us up to a car rental lot, and she gives herself a rental car, and had Cam drive hers. Well, had Cam drive me in hers. And during that time, I was in dirt broke. At that new job, I was getting paid a whopping $7.80 per hour. Nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And then the manager had like such a big issue with me, like, because he didn't train me. And that's why I'm saying, like, these people don't train you, and they get mad when you don't know something. You're the manager. This is your responsibility. You're supposed to make sure that I know these things. And it really wasn't even that, honestly. I just felt like it was the computer. The computer wasn't calibrated, so whenever I pressed one thing, it would like press something else. And I used to hate when people would try to prove. And it was so crazy because literally all the employees literally said the same thing. Like, oh, we know exactly what you're talking about. We know exactly what you're talking about. Because I kept getting him voids. And in that state, getting more than one voice, like, it affects him badly. Like, I don't even know why they set it up like that. It's so stupid how the restaurant industry acts over there. Like, sometimes customers change their ideas, you know. If you get 3 voids in that state, you lose your job. Like, imagine easily losing a job in a place where jobs are scarce, all because you got 3 voids because a customer changed their minds 2 times. And then the next customer came in and they changed their mind 1 time. And now what, I'm supposed to be mad at the customer? No, I just thought their job was setting me up for failure. So he cut my hours to 4 hours per week, and I was getting $7.80. And he used to think he was doing me a favor. I'm like, dude, my checks don't even come out with like $20. You got me out here again, $20. That's gas to get here. And that doesn't even count the weekly amount of gas that it took. I literally had to start asking my parents for money for gas. And they were like, don't you have a job? Like, how can you not afford gas at a job? And I told them, and they was like, he's trying to limit you. He's trying to set you up. And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy how people do that. Like, what the fuck is y'all talking about? Y'all do the same thing. What's this? So, no. Before I visited, I asked for more roommate information, right? Cam told me the following people lived there. 1, Cam themselves. 2, Tamar. 3, sometimes Cameron's baby nephew. And 4, a man who is a family friend. And so I was scared to live with a man besides my father. So Cameron reassured me that this guy is paraplegic. Like, he's like almost paraplegic. Like, he's like not really able to walk like that. He's handicapped. He's literally disabled. He got the little thingy. He got the car customized and everything. This man, he been through some things, yeah. So Cameron was like, they probably won't be able to hurt you. You'll probably be able to hurt him more. He ain't got no lower body function. Perfect. So we're gonna call the handicapped man that lives with Cameron a mess, literally, because that is literally what he is. He's a mess. Okay. Talking about people, and then boom. Wes wasn't home yet since he worked a 9 to 5, and rush hour began when like we was pretty much picking up the rental car. And Cam showed me, well, Cam didn't show me around. I kind of just, I got into the apartment, because that's kind of where I wanted to go. I don't know why people go to new states and cities with people they don't really know, and they be like, let's go here, let's go there. No, we going to the shelter, okay? We're gonna know where the house is first, and then we're gonna go to other locations. I just need everybody to know I got to point A. Boom, they open up the apartment door, and it has like a little gated metal door and then like a wooden door. You walk in, you see the living room to the right. The sofa's hideous, didn't like it. The carpet, yuck, hated it. The desk, yikes, what the fuck is that? The TV, the whole set, cluttered, but hey, not that bad. Things were kind of dusty, and I just felt like it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, so I'm walking in, I see the cabinets in the kitchen, looking there, trying to see if there's weird things crawling around. Then I looked at their dishes, quick scan, didn't really go that hard, but I looked at them just to see. And I got to Cameron's room, and this room was so janky. I was like, what's going on here? So I was just looking at the bed. The bed didn't make no sense. The bed looked like it was going through it too, okay? Then I looked at the nightstand. That doesn't make sense. Why is the nightstand looking like that? I don't get it. And then I looked at the shelf, the bookshelf, and I'm like, is that thing about to fall on somebody? This is a safety hazard. No bueno. And then I look at the dresser, and I'm like, did you guys just start living here? Because it was giving, the whole entire like house was giving incomplete. It didn't seem like they were living there for a while. So I even asked Cameron, I was like, how long have y'all been living with each other? And Cameron was like, oh, about 5 years now. 5 years? You guys been living here for 5 years and this is what the house looked like? It looked like it hasn't been developed to be a home. So I thought to myself, 5 years mean like, that's a lot, So it was kind of a red flag for me, because I'm like, why does it look so empty-ish? And kind of like, it looks like only one person had the opinion on the aesthetics. That's basically what it looked like, if that makes sense. Like, for all these people to live here, and this is how, like, it looks like a blank canvas, and like one person is slowly, adding little things to it. Cam was stale. It was making me super uncomfortable. Because, we was super hyped on the phone. We was talking every day. We was excited to see each other. So here I am. And Cameron's like, yeah, that's the kitchen. Yeah, sometimes. 5 years. 5 years, yeah. What is that? Like, so, I just thought it was kind of weird, because I was like, why are you acting brand new? Because it's like, I felt like that camera shyness that Cameron originally had when we first, like, was talking. Now they're like, doing it in person, because it took like 3 months for them to actually just, talk for themselves. And now I feel like it's going to be in person. And I was like, oh my gosh, do not do this codependency stuff right now. Like, you are a great person on your own. Just be you. Just be yourself, right? A mess comes home and I try to talk to him, right? And he says something, and I replied with, yes, sir. And he said, first of all, don't call me sir. So here's some details. I want to give you guys more details on things. So 𝒎𝒅, she was in her late 40s during this time. So she's in her late 40s. I think she was like, I don't think she was 45. I think she was like 48 or something. And she kind of looks like 𝒎𝒂𝒂𝒍. She has like that shortcut with the, she does that. She has the kind of flattish butt, but she has huge breasts, huge titties, and that's gonna matter in the future. Her titties are big, okay? I think she's like a G. She talks and lie like 𝒎𝒊𝒂. You know 𝒎𝒊𝒂 from the Real Housewives of Atlanta? She literally also gets loud and rashes. Strange. So I was like, she is so extroverted. How are you and Cameron living together and you're more extroverted? Cameron is too introverted. And just coming from an introvert, you're too introverted, okay? I think you have problems, okay? Like, you're insecure. That's me, girl. So, she has a lazy eye. She's black, and she's a native to the city, and she's about 5'5", I think. Goes on Cam. Cam was going on 18 in a few days during this time. Cam looks pretty much just like 𝒎𝒅. They look very, very similar. Cam has shorter length hair, but usually just did like twist outs and stuff. That's what I taught them how to do based off, like, from my YouTube video, I learned how to do that. So really on those first couple conversations in FaceTime, I was teaching Cam how to do twist outs and stuff because Cam did not know what to do with their natural hair. So boom, Cam used to be obese, like literally medically diagnosed as obese. Like Cam literally, it was so weird because I did not ask for it. Like when we first was meeting, for some odd reason, Cam sent me like all these like older pictures of them. And I can literally see what they were talking about. Like Cam was in fact obese at a very young age, and it was like that for a couple years. And I really don't think it's a child's fault for being obese. I really think it's the parents, you know, who should have been, you know, checking up on that. But some people just have like a thyroid thing going on. So it's like, be kind to people. I don't body shame people because it's not very necessary. It's literally so not necessary. This is going to be a part of the story because they do have like a eating habit thing. And so they're also, Cam is about 5'11", and about maybe like 180 something to 190 pounds. Really tall. I don't know what it is about me. I'm pretty short. I'm shorter than everybody in this house. Literally. I'm shorter than everybody except for the baby nephew, of course. But he was actually coming up on my height. Like, I don't know what it is about me that have like taller people gravitating towards me, but someone tall is always trying to be my friend. I'm like, you too big for your own good. You too big for your own good. I always have issues with people who are like, I don't know, you guys, I'm just saying, taller people are nicer to me. I think they think I'm adorable. I think when they look down at me, they think I'm cute. And tall people want to fight me. They hit hurt. I don't know what it is about their height, but they got, maybe it's more bone marrow. So the next morning, oh snap, I completely skip over a mess. That's how much I don't care. But yeah, so Cam is black and is also a native to the city. 𝒎𝒂 is like 60 something years old around this time. I think early 60s, about 5'8", maybe 5'7", I don't know. He was probably maybe like 100 and something pounds. He was very slim, super slim for his age. Honestly, I was like, oh, they're probably right. You probably not gonna do nothing because, like, baby, where's your muscles at? You know, but they can't, you know, I don't know what they can and can't do. I don't want to be that person to say they can't do that. I believe anyone is capable of doing anything they put their hearts to. But 𝒎𝒂 kind of sucked. He had blue eyes, super gray hair. All his hair is gray. He's old, okay? And I'm not saying gray hair equates to old. I'm just giving you guys an idea, like, you know, like, I just think for him to look at that face in the morning every day, he would probably, like, reconsider how he treats people, but who am I? So 𝒎𝒂 uses the wheelchair, but sometimes they also use a cane. And most time they use the cane when they're like indoors in like very small spaces, because like they literally need to balance themselves, like, or they're gonna freaking fall. Like, they're gonna fall, and it's gonna be extremely hard for them to like get themselves up. I didn't know this was a freaking thing. No one told me that, but I will talk about that later. Like, it took them a while to get like 25 feet from like one place to another. It's like 1 whole minute for 25 feet. That's pretty slow, my guy. That's 0 miles per hour. I think on the average person is walking 1 to 2 miles per hour. He was going 0. Okay, think about it. Anyway, so he liked to argue with strangers. Did not care, and I think he was kind of selective. But he's also a native from Boston. Y'all heard about Boston? I didn't hear about Boston. I didn't hear about Boston until my first year of living in that city. I did not know people from Boston was racist. Like, I've met Anglo people, Asian people, Black people, every ethnicity you could think of. And they have already concluded that Boston is very racist. Like, you're going to go through it. I wrote that he also wore the same 3 outfits like every week. It was kind of getting gross. He would not wash his own laundry. I'm just saying. And he's Anglo. Tamar, Cam, and I go out. First thing we did was drop Cameron off at the high school. Okay, you go. You still doing that little stupid shit. You know, we doing grown women things. Tee-hee. And so when Cameron got out, I decided, like, you know, I felt like this weird energy from Cameron. I just felt like they felt nervous or weird and awkward. And so I got up and I was like, oh, hey, you know, I'm just hug you. And hopefully they'll, like, release some energy. Because, like I said, Cameron used to FaceTime me every day. So our whole entire dynamic just changed up in a matter of, like, 1 day. And so Cameron was kind of, I don't know, I felt like maybe there was just, like, you know, taking it all in and trying to figure out, like, how they felt, you know. So I just wanted to be a supportive friend, you know. That's all I was trying to do. But these N-words had me messed up. So after I gave Cameron a hug, you know, Cameron went into the school and whatnot, and I was walking around and I was about to get into the backseat. But Tamar was like, oh no. Okay, I'll get into the passenger if you insist. Not even 30 seconds of Tamar pulling off, she tells me her childhood trauma. Apparently, their uncle is a pedophile. And he was overtly doing what he wanted to do. And that's sick, okay? So that's one thing that she just threw at me. And I'm like, what the f is this? You know, it was disgusting. I'm like, okay, is he in jail? And she's like, no. Girl, did you just tell me about a pedophile on the loose? I should call the police. His name, though, I don't know anything about him. I just know that's her uncle, right? And so I stayed quiet for most of her story, since that topic is nothing light. You know, I felt uncomfortable. I felt like maybe she needed this moment, but like, I really didn't know what to say or do. She then tells me trash about all 4 of her sons. She has 4 sons, right? So let me break it down for you. Tamar has 4 sons, started from the age of 17. She has 3 baby daddies. I will only be speaking on 3 of her sons because the oldest son never gave me problems. He was the shillest mother. He's that guy that doesn't really show up for family events for too long. He'll pop up every now and then, but he dips out real fast. So that's kind of how I was, because it's like, nah, family can be very toxic, honestly. So she kind of told me a little bit about that, and yeah. So I'm not really going to talk about the first son like that. I don't need to, like, create a fake name for him, but basically what she was just saying, like, he had, like, this half Mexican, half white baby mama, and, like, they were just going through a lot of drama. But, hey, that's what happens. That's what happens when the kid comes. It's just ongoing. 18 years of stupidity. And it's like, I don't got no kids. But like, that stuff be making me not want kids, like, for real. Because it's like, what is your problem? But anyways, just give me my money. Apparently, the baby mom was like, just give me my money. I'm just kidding. Like, I don't have no issues with that guy. But from what Tamar is saying, like, I don't know why she was talking about that boy business. Because when I met him, he was never rude to me. Always very well. He well-spoken, everything. He's so different, you know? So we're going to talk about the second son. And the second eldest, I'll name him Carlo. Carlo, yeah. Just because I really don't want their names to be too similar to who they actually are, because I'm a popping individual. Son number 3, who is the second youngest, I will name him Fred. Fred. The fourth son, the youngest, I would refer to him as Tamar's youngest son. Simple as that. No code name. I'm just going to call him Tamar's youngest son. So, Tamar has 3 baby daddies. No, I don't judge women for having multiple baby daddies. I do think 4 and up is crazy, but be like that sometimes. Like, hey, you know, you never know. Like, life be lifing. So it's like, there could be people who have died. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you did not deserve to, like, get married to another man and have his child. You already have 3 baby daddies, but 2 of them are dead. Those bodies don't count anymore. So, the first baby daddy, I'm not really sure what happened to him. I think she told me, but I don't really remember. But I don't think he was a decent guy. I think he was a criminal. So the second baby daddy, and this is what I'm guessing if he's not the first baby daddy, this is a baby daddy that's currently in jail. I would tell you guys why that baby daddy is in jail very, very soon. Let me highlight that because I really do need a... So yeah, so the third baby daddy, that is the current man that Tamar is married to. Tamar was talking bad about her baby daddy. She wasn't really talking about the other ones like that, but Tamar, man, she'll talk bad about her baby daddy. That's gonna be sad to me. I'll be sitting here like, but weren't y'all just bumping and grinding? Cause like, really, do y'all not realize how y'all look? You were just bumping and grinding on this person. And now you're like, he sucks. He ain't about nothing. But you like that bumping and grinding. You liked it so much that you got a baby out of it. Be for real with yourself. Be for real with yourself. But anyways, a lot of these men do not deserve kids. So she was just saying things like she felt like her husband wasn't man enough for her, and that she separated from him because he just couldn't handle the job right. And from the things that she is saying, it kind of did seem like that. It was like, wait, y'all was homeless? How are y'all homeless when the whole man is there? And you only had 3 at the time? Like, what? Like, I think they did just get a new one. But it's like, still, like, I don't know. I just felt like a lot of their life circumstances, and I'm not trying to judge anyone because these are, like, also Black people. And, like, I don't know where they started at because a lot of Black people started off really bad. Like, honestly, yeah, I kind of did learn where they started at, and I was like, ooh, yeah, that's pretty bad. Like, pedophilia, y'all gonna have to let that go. So, yeah, so she is legally married to this guy, but I don't think she's legally separated from this guy. But Tamar tells me about her romantic stuff going on. So she tells me that she has this man that she has been seeing for 8 years at the time. 8 years. And I'm like, oh, girl, that's a lot of years. But I was like, wait, hold on. Did you just tell me you was married? Well, you talking about your husband. You guys been married for 8 years. And she's like, oh, no. I hate when girls tell me stuff like this. Because it's like, girl, don't you know I'm going to judge you? This I judge for. Because it's like, why don't you just go through the proper protocols so it's not like you're in the wrong, you know? Because it's like, at this point, you cheating. Because not only was her boyfriend, you know, messing with her and she's a married woman, he was a married man. And she knew it the whole time. So you as a married woman, you have a failed marriage and you go and you mess around with another woman's husband. So serious, like why would you do that? That's so selfish, you know? And that was selfish. Remember that one. Note that. So her boyfriend has been married for like literally, I think they were seeing each other before their relationships even failed, honestly. It seemed like they were already seeing each other before, like, you know. But apparently her boyfriend is going through this long going divorce with his wife, and she's just waiting to be his girlfriend and his wife, you know, since like, you know, one thing I noticed on FaceTime a lot with Cameron was home alone a lot, and it was kind of sad because a lot of times Cameron was complaining about food, and they'll be like, oh, Tamar literally left to go see her boyfriend and didn't even buy any food. Like, there's nothing in the refrigerator. I can't eat anything in here. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Tamar would leave me like this. And Cameron was still a minor, so yeah, that was neglect. But I don't know, I just felt like, Cameron, did you say the street? Because when I got there and I saw the store, I'm like, Cameron, you could have walked to the store. Walk to the store, you got money. What are you doing? Altogether, to get to the front entrance, 15 minutes. And then after that, like, yeah, really infatuated with this guy. She really like stopped everything for this guy. And I kind of feel like I was kind of already observing it. And the fact that she's telling me, you know, this is my first day, like, waking up here in the state, and you're telling me all this stuff about this guy and how you're super insecure about like him messing with other women. It's like, I don't know, I feel like if you're going to bring up a guy to anyone who is new to your life, you should probably say some nice things about him, right? It just seemed like, what's the point of talking about him if you have nothing nice to say? Because she was for sure talking trash about this guy, you know, as well, and it just seemed like he wasn't being like a nice person to her. I was young and I didn't know how to assert myself or even like how to create boundaries. I didn't even know what boundaries were. In my house, you don't have boundaries. You just get that. And so I remember looking at the doors in the car and how they were locked. And I felt like I was being forced to take in all her trauma. And it's like early in the morning. This is soccer mom time. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just dropped off Cameron. But, you know, eventually, you know, we drive out for a little bit and it reaches like 10 o'clock. Okay? So it's like 10 o'clock. And Tamar's like, oh, you want to go get like maybe like 9:30-ish, 9:40 or something like that. Tamar's like, oh, let's go get brunch. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, on me. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I like. That's exactly what I like. And so, yeah, so Tamar, she brought me to this restaurant. The waitress spilled some already devoured food and drinks all over Tamar. It was so bad. Like, eating food all on Tamar. Apple juice, backwash, all on Tamar. And she still tipped the waitress. So I was like, oh, that's very nice of Tamar. I think they made her look decent. And so she continued to talk about more trauma, though. She starts bringing up the SA more. And I'm like, girl, in front of my waffle, come on. To be a person to be like, look, you don't have, this is never the time or the place to do that. I don't want nobody feeling uncomfortable with me. Like, you know, like, oh, I feel like I can't be vulnerable around her. But girl, this is my birthday, life-changing event where it's like, oh yeah, I do want to move here. Like, can a girl take a vacation away from her parents? Can a girl relax? You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm over here stressed about your childhood trauma. And it seemed like you know, this being your family is bad and very untrustworthy. I wasn't liking that. I wasn't liking that at all. And so Tamar then decides to take me to the mall, insisted for me to pick stuff for her to buy for me. So we were just walking around in the mall. Let you guys know right now, the most I've been to was a strip mall. I'd never been to an actual like mall. I mean, I went to an outlet before. I've been to an outlet and a strip mall, and that's it. Actually overwhelmed by the mall, and I was just trying to learn and absorb what, like, this type of mall is, you know, because it's like, this is new to me. She's like, oh, you know, pick up whatever you want. I'll give you whatever you want and stuff. And I was like, girl, I know you like that for you be paying for nothing. You know, like, I'm not your hoe. I'm not a whore. Oh, the fuck? It was just giving like I was getting tricked out. Like, what are you, my sugar mama? Like, calm down, girl. Like, I don't need anything from you. Like, let me figure out this space first. And I felt like she was getting annoyed with the fact that, I don't know, like, she would do like this a lot, like this. And, like, she's trying to figure out something, like she doesn't understand me. And it's like, yeah, I'm new to this and that. Or she's just giving me stuff and I'm gonna just wear it out, and like she can just be like, oh yeah, I brought that top, I brought those pants, I brought those shoes, I brought that necklace. I don't want nobody doing that to me. Just sitting there like, it's true. And it's like, no. So I only brought indoor clothes because I'm like, no, she brought me sleepwear. Yeah, I sleep comfortable. Yeah. Girl, you didn't buy me a look. And that's it, that's all. So I got like 2 sweatpants from her, like 3 cami tops, and that was like sleep. All that was basic sleepwear and stuff like that. Like, I did not get much of anything because I didn't want anything. I didn't want anything from her. I didn't know if this was like a commitment I wanted to make, and I didn't want her to whip out like, oh, you're not living here? Well, I only did all this stuff because you was gonna live here, so I need you to pay me back. I don't like things like that because people are for sure like that. It's weird. So yeah, we then go to the food court, and a homeless lady begs her for food, and Tamar effortlessly purchases her food. And Tamar proceeds to explain how money isn't so serious. I felt a little bit of respect towards her because some people think like money equates to everything. And it's like, literally, if money didn't exist, then you would have to find something else to be passionate about. Life is not about money. It has not always been about money. Life has been about people getting to their next chapter, evolving, you know, improving, you know, respecting, learning. You know, it's just so much more to life than money. And I just felt like, hey, like, she didn't see money as like this huge thing, so maybe she's not going to be a problematic person. Because not only that, I didn't write this down in my script, and I'm going to tell you guys this right now because this was really a big red flag. And, you know, I thought it was more funny than serious, but don't let those laughs fool you. You know what I'm saying? When you hear something that's crazy, don't just laugh at it. You better question it too. Like, what the fuck are you telling me? You know, because it's like, I was on FaceTime with her, and, you know, she confirmed with me that a mess, that's who they had to talk to get further allowance, I guess, for me to live there. And she was like, you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about anything when you get here. When you get here, you can live here for free. You can borrow my car if you want to. You can use my car whenever. I'm not tripping off of that. Like, if you need help with this, I can help you with that, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh my God, that's so nice. But here's when she came in with the weird one. So she then says, leftovers? Leftovers? We don't even eat our leftover. We go home, we put it in the refrigerator, and we throw it out the next day. What? What did you just say to me? And actually, I'm telling her the reason why I'm moving is so I can get, 1, work ethics and experience, because there's not a lot of opportunity over here, and 2, my college education. So I don't even know why the topic of leftovers came up, but she was going on a tangent about how they will be diggity damned if they ate leftovers. And I'm just sitting here like, well, I eat my leftovers. Like, if I'm not finished, I'm gonna eat it in a timely manner. You know, I feel like you can't double down on leftovers. If you put it in the refrigerator 2 times, throw that away. What are you doing? There's people who out here like, I couldn't finish it again. Let me put it. Them bacteria, they love beating you up, huh? It's very perplexing how she brought up leftovers and that she brought it home and she throw it out the next day. So are you trying to tell me your house is filthy because you just have nothing but spoiled food sitting in a garbage can for no reason? You could have just let the restaurant toss out the food. So I saw it as a red flag, but I kind of laughed about it. But it was so crazy because here we are, and I'm in the city. He brings it up, and she's like, "Yep, nope, we don't even do the leftovers. Leftovers are da da da." I'm like, "Oh my god, she's really bringing this up like every time like anything happens. Like, can you like stop saying that? Like, it's really like embarrassing hearing you as an outsider looking in. It's like, what are you talking about?" So yeah, I did feel a bit more respect for her in that moment, because I was like, maybe she was just joking about the other stuff, because she has visually shown me that she doesn't mind spending money on people. And so I was like, okay, maybe she's not who I really thought she was, because that leftover thing maybe was literally a joke. But like I said, she kept bringing it up, and I was like, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but like, why you keep bringing up this leftover food stuff? Like, girl, shut up. I literally never met anyone who talked about leftovers that much. But anyways, like, my parents started blowing up my phone by the third day, but I was still filling out the city to make my decision. So I had only 1 week. I was only supposed to visit for 1 week, and I needed to come up with a yes or no. Am I gonna move to a whole nother city and start a whole nother life, you know, from scratch? I don't know nobody. I was ignoring my parents because I literally I felt like, I don't really know, like, if I want to live here. I don't know if I want to defend myself for this. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to figure out if I'm really a bad person for going on a plane trip without my parents' knowledge at the age of, like, 19. I just turned 20. I just turned 20 years old when I did this. So that was, like, my first time even, like, really being outside. Like, I was like, girl, I'm outside. I'm in a whole nother city outside. My mom was like, oh, you think you grown, huh? You think you just doing grown woman stuff. And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm doing. We went to this nice open community that Cameron actually used to live in with Tamar, because I guess Cameron has been living with Tamar, like, them two for like a few years now, like a couple years. And I'm like, what? Because now Tamar's, all three of her older sons, they're literally grown men. Like, all of them. Like, they're all grown men. Tamar's youngest son was our age. Apparently, like, professional, like, athletes live in that community. It's like condos, very nice community, very nice community. I always just say the vibe is kind of weird because it's closer to, like, a more, like, weird, like, area that I just feel like they did not like people of color or whatever. So, yeah, so we purchased smoothies and we got a bunch of grapes, and we just started walking around the community and sharing the grapes together. And like, Cameron was just telling me stories, like reminiscing back on like what it was like, you know, when it was like used to live there, because they haven't lived there for like 5 years now. And the reason why they moved is because a mess convinced Tamar to move. And so I was like, huh? What are you talking about? What? And so Cameron would be like very like nonchalant with the truth of what was actually going on. Eventually, if not earlier that very day, I was applying for jobs. I chose the mall since Cam and Tamar loved that mall, and they kept like walking me throughout that mall like at least 2 or 3 times like that 1 week. I was like, okay, so you guys obviously like love being at this mall. So I'm gonna apply to jobs at this mall. I'm gonna apply to as many jobs as I can, whatever that's in the community. And yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. Like, anywhere Cameron and I was going, I was like, how do I apply here? You know, like, it didn't matter. Like, there was no time for me to like play the guessing game. Like, either way, before like I make my decision, I need to know that there's opportunities already set for me. And that's what I did, because I couldn't get a job where I was from. I was very serious about my first week of moving to that city. So again, you know, I finally answered my phone, and my mom was fuming, hangry, okay? And she was going off, you know, literally she sounded like that one mom on that voicemail. It was like, oh, I'm sorry. And so, but obviously if I told her, I just felt like if I would have told my parents wasn't going to let me go, because what were they always doing? Oh, you can't go there. You can't do this. Well, it's right down the street. No, you can't do that. You can't go there. You can't do this. And unfortunately, there was other ways. My parents had cameras outside of our house, so I literally just could not, like, sneak out the house and go anywhere. Like, they was going to see me. They were going to see me, okay? Period. Like, there was no getting out of it, you guys. Like, I was in jail. I was in prison by my parents. So, because I was a girl. You know, you can't go outside. There's boys out there. They're going to rape you. I knew there was no opportunity in the home that I used to live. Why? Because the way my parents were operating, but not only that, the way the locals were operating. You trying to, like, snub me out of a job because you think 15 and 16-year-olds, it's illegal. That's age discrimination. But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to call. But I can swear that's age discrimination, and they cannot do that. My mom threatened to call the police on everyone. She was like, whoever was involved is getting the police called on them. And I'm like, Mom, you don't know anybody's name here. I made sure I didn't tell you as much, you know. I told other people things, but, you know, I was posting in the city when I was in the city, so a lot of people knew I was, like, in the city, you know, so on Snapchat. And, like, I just felt like she wasn't believing in me. And then, you know, I get a call from my dad. So my dad actually called me on the day that they picked me up. My dad called me as soon as I landed, and I was talking to him, and he was like, I don't know, I feel like I don't know if you can trust that woman. I don't know if you can trust her. And I was like, why? And he was like, I just feel like she's, like, trying to set something up between you and Cameron. And I was like, you think so? And they were like, yeah, but, you know, I don't want to put, like, any, like, weight on, like, your decisions and stuff. Like, I believe that you made, you know, the best decision for yourself. And I was like, that's my papa. You know, that's what you're supposed to do, Mom. Mom, stop crying, Mom. My mom wanted me to come home pronto. She's like, no, come home now. Since I got your contact, come home now. And I said what I said. And I was like, Mom, I'm, like, here for somebody's birthday. Like, what the hell? That would be so rude of me. Because Cameron's birthday was, like, literally, like, the next day, if not the day after that. And so, Tamar, last second, tells me that Cameron's birthday dinner will have more of their family members attending. Okay, so I'm meeting the family. Ooh, that one's hard. So I was nervous because I've only known a few of my peers' family members, and it was usually, like, no more than one person. I asked Tamar, you know, so if you guys have more family members coming, is a mess coming? And Tamar was like, no, never, ever. And I was like, you know, it was a hard no. It was immediate no. Like, don't even, no, ever, no. And I was like, wait, so y'all been living with each other for 5 years, you know? And then for some odd reason, I think this was within, like, the same time frame or whatever. I think a mess knew that Cameron was having a birthday dinner. I think Tamar would tell a mess all the time when she was about to link up with her family, and the messages, you know, kind of just reminisce about it. Well, he would kind of just talk about it and stuff like that, but he would, like, also reminisce on other moments. And I remember he was just telling me that he has never met Tamar's family, and I was like, oh, well, that's a red flag, in a way where it's like, it's telling me more that I needed to know. So if you guys known each other for 5 years, from what Cameron is telling me, you guys seem like, I don't know, why would you as her friend offer her to live with you? You're obviously helping her, but it's like male and female. It was just, I don't know. I had the birthday dinner with Cameron and their family, and it was a very nice dinner. It was very lovely. They had questions and stuff for me. I didn't really want to answer some of the questions because I thought to myself, I don't really know you guys like that, and I kind of don't want you guys knowing anything about me, because I can say no to this, and I don't want any strings attached. I don't want nobody knowing about me. I don't want none of that, you know, because not only that, like, this family, like, they're family, and Tamar is, like, the person who's, like, operating a lot of things. So it was kind of like, I don't know what Tamar is also telling you guys, because, like, from the sound of it and the look of it, it may look like I'm just like this helpless little girl. I really know what they wanted to know about me for. Loving it. Tamar paid for a silk press for me. During that time, they weren't nearly as much as they are now. Like, they actually charged it pretty cheap for the silk press. And my hair came out really nice. My hair was really nice. I got a trim and everything. And Tamar just loved the fact that my hair looked that way. You know, Tamar just liked how my hair was. Actually very happy with the outcome of the dinner. I was very nervous, and I think I did a good job. I remember, like, we took a picture together, and that picture was so cute. I was like, maybe this is a sign. And we get home, and Tamar, you know, this is the whole event that I was supposed to be there for, but Tamar had, and she had us, like, in the living room, and, she had like another family member or whatever, and it was like, oh my gosh, like, Cameron been having so much fun with you here, so we would like to extend your visit or whatever. And I was like, oh, so they're gonna pay a little extra to keep me here longer. I fuzzed with that because I had fun. It was nice, although I was uncomfortable from Tamar sharing some really hidden secrets that it's like, I think should come to light regardless. You know, maybe it wasn't the best time, but I'm so grateful that I know that, you know, this is not just some made up stuff. Like, people are literally going through things, because I feel like a lot of people are victims of things like that. And although, like, I wasn't SA when I was a kid, I was abused in a different way by my teachers. But I just don't think, like, I don't want to be that person be like, oh, you can't talk about this. Like, no, you should talk about it. I just think if you're going to talk about something like that, you got to, like, give a warning, you know, because it's like, I feel like that unannounced stuff hurts. It pains people to hear. I fly back home, and then I come back to the airport. That same friend, I think it's the same friend that helped me the first time, he had helped me again. But then all of a sudden, Tamar and Cameron, they was like, oh, before you come back, we had to fix some things, or we got to figure something out. They couldn't talk about it and stuff. I was like, what's going on, you guys? It was something involving their baby nephew. So now here I am. This is still December. I'm moving out of my parents' house. I went back home, packed up my stuff that I really wanted. And I took a lot of stuff. I shouldn't have took all that stuff. Like, I think someone actually had to, like, throw it away. Because it's just, like, they had no storage for that. I don't know why I did that. Like, honestly, I actually feel awful for that. I wanted to, like, apologize for a couple years. Like, I'm so sorry I brought that much shit to your house. Like, my bad, bro. Yeah, so it was on a delay. So instead of, you know, me staying out there, I decided that I was going to go back to my hometown. I was getting to know family members that I hadn't seen in years, because I evacuated a natural disaster that happened. Therefore, we were no longer living in our hometown, because the natural disasters are just a little too, like, consistent, and it affects you. You can't just sit there and be like, well, it's not in this area. No, it's gonna be in that area, period, whether you like it or not. And you can't control nature, because we're not that powerful beings, okay? I went to my hometown, got to learn a lot about my family members, but not enough. I don't know. I really appreciate my cousin. Her name starts with a P. Shout out to her. She literally was my motivation. Like, I was literally so scared, and I was gonna just give in and go back home. But when I saw my older cousin, she was pushing through. I mean, she had things put together. I'm so proud of her. I wanted to tell her, but it's like, I don't think she realized, like, how proud of her I am, you know? And Cameron started, like, switching up and started being, like, a little weird towards me and making it seem like they didn't want me to live out there anymore. But my hometown didn't have a lot going on either. I was like, you can get somewhere for sure in my hometown. But, like, I'm just saying, like, I didn't see anything, you know, because there was a lot of Anglo people there, and there was a lot of racist Anglo people there. I'm telling you guys, I walked into the restaurant, and I cannot believe what they say it's called, fork to plate or something like that, when you hear like the utensils go down and stuff like that, everybody start looking at you like, why are you here? Stalling, and I left after the second week of December. So here I am, we just passed up Christmas, and I'm like, well, you guys, when am I supposed to move out there? Like, when are you guys gonna be ready? And what is the situation that you guys are going through? Like, I really feel like, although I'm not necessarily your roommate yet, I haven't really gotten out there, and I really don't think anybody owe anybody anything right now. I think I should know like why you guys are stalling. And so this is like now January or whatever. So January comes, and it's like the second week of January, and I feel like Cameron like then eventually told me what was happening. So like I said, Cameron said only sometimes is their baby nephew over at their house, but apparently their baby nephew had a mother, right? And their mother is Fred's, the second youngest son, or the third son of Tamar. She, I'm going to name her Frida. We're going to call her Frida. She abandons the baby nephew and the rest of her kids. So I was like, oh, yeah, y'all take y'all time on that one, because I did not expect y'all to just up and have to deal with a 2-year-old baby. I'm gonna start the video here because this is actually getting cotton tootin' long. I will be releasing videos because this is literally why I couldn't post for nothing in years, because it's like crazy freaking roommates that would make you blow your top, because it's like they're not good people. The situation is so serious. Like, I genuinely believe they will be on the FBI list. I genuinely believe they can go to jail still. They should go to jail for exactly what they're doing. And it's sick and it's disgusting. Like, comment, and or subscribe. Make sure to share this video to someone. I will see you guys in the next video.